Hello, welcome to today's video. One of the fastest ways to generate leads for your water damage restoration business is to simply buy them. And that is what we're going to go over in this video, pay-per-lead model for water damage restoration. So if you want fast restoration leads, leads that are hungry for your services, you should stick out and check out this video until the very end. We're going to go over the pay-per-lead model and is it worth it? So, quick introduction. In this video, you'll learn more about pay-per-lead, and I will refer to it as just PPL for restoration companies. This training will help you make a decision as to whether PPL is worth it for a restoration company or not. We go over how PPL works, how much water damage leads, is it worth it, and the comparison between working with a pay-per-lead agency or lead generation company, however you want to call it, and a marketing agency. So let's get right into it. Let me just return the circle where it should be, and let's go. So how pay-per-lead for water damage works. It works exactly as you may think. You partner up with a lead generation company and you start receiving leads from them, usually in the form of calls. You can also buy form submissions where a customer submits a form, enters their name, address, phone number, and enters details about their situation. You can also buy that. But in water restoration, where it's an emergency situation, an emergency service, leads, the best leads you want to buy are usually calls. So you only pay for billable leads. And what determines a billable leads is what you pretty much negotiate and have a deal with the restoration company. So some companies will bill you based on call duration. So let's say we want calls and we will bill you for calls. Actually, we will buy calls that are more than 2 minutes long because that's the time we assume we'll need for us to convert into a sale. And in water damage, it's an emergency. It will likely be lower than that, 60 to 90 seconds or something like that. While others will bill you based on the intent of the caller. So they will use different ways to enter zip code, enter your name, what do you need, and stuff like that. And if they check all of those boxes, that will be a verified intent that this caller is interested in a water damage restoration service. So they will bill you based on the intent of the caller. Intent-based leads will likely be more expensive for you, but you'll get a much better bang for your buck. So how much are water damage leads? Well, they usually go from $200, you may even find them for less on the lower end, up to $1,000 on the higher end. Now, is this pricing worth it? Well, think of it like this. Would you pay $200, $500, $800, even $1,000 to have a chance, a pretty high chance of closing a 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, even higher job? Would you do that? Now, these leads, if you work with the right company, are going to be pretty targeted, meaning that you will have a very high chance of closing them. And this, in my opinion, makes this pricing worth it. So pricing will vary per zip code, with leads from metro areas like Los Angeles, Houston, and Miami usually coming at the highest price because there's the most competition is there. The cost of living is the highest, leading to higher cost of services in general. So that will those leads will usually be the most expensive. If you ran Google Ads or PPC advertising before, you'll notice that one water damage lead will equate to like 5 to 10 clicks from PPC. So that you will notice that if you ever ran Google Ads, actually PPC, cost per click is actually one of the biggest factors that will determine the cost of a lead. So yeah, if advertisers, people that generate leads for lead generation companies, they one of the main ways they will bring them in is PPC advertising, and they need to charge enough for a lead in order to cover the cost of PPC advertising. So the higher the cost of Google Ads in your area, likely will be the higher cost of a lead in your area. And again, those will be the highest in these metro areas. So let's go on. Benefits of pay per lead. Um, Pro number one, you pay for qualified leads over clicks. Unlike with PPC advertising, pay per lead model allows you to only pay for qualified leads. When you're running PPC ads, you get billed for clicks, regardless of whether those clicks resulted in conversions for you or not. With PPL, you don't even have to know how PPC, SEO, or other methods lead generation companies utilize to generate leads work. So you don't really need to understand those in depth. And this brings us to the next point. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Before we move on, you only pay for qualified leads. Again, you have a deal with your lead generation company. What a qualified lead will be for you? Is it the call duration? You also understand their vetting process, how they vet leads, how they differentiate a random caller or maybe a telemarketer from a customer interested in a service. So, but let's move on to the pro number two, taking the learning curve out. So, avoid losing money on SEO and PPC just to learn how they work. With PPL, you don't have to be a digital marketing expert. You don't have to understand how Google Ads work, how SEO works. You don't have to be an expert in those things in order to simply generate leads with PPL. I recommend you to understand the basics of it, at least the concept, so that you understand what your lead generation company is doing. Since most lead generation companies, especially water damage, are going to utilize search engine marketing, which includes PPC and SEO. So take, for example, with PPC, when you launch your first campaigns, Google will spend some of your money in the beginning in an effort to understand your business and see to which audience is the best to display your ads. Your ads won't be as profitable in the beginning as they will be later on, as so that Google learns, okay, so what is this website about? What type of people should I send to this website? So this will take a little bit of spending and maybe losing some money in the beginning with Google Ads. So with PPL, you can simply skip this, since advertisers will deal with this, and you will only pay for leads, as I said. So this brings us to this can take some time, and when you content the fact that you will also need to some trial and error to understand how PPC works, it results in a lot of money spent just on learning. Same goes with SEO. PPL allows you to skip this learning curve. Pro number three, easy budgeting. If you have no experience with online marketing, you likely won't know how to properly budget for SEO, PPC, and other types of advertising. You may not be familiar. Okay, so how much or what is cost per click? What are different types of ads that I can run? With PPL, this pretty much is out of the window because you'll only need to understand, okay, so I need to pay this much for a lead, and that's pretty much it. This allows pretty easy budgeting. You'll know exactly how much your leads will cost, and you'll have an option to pause your campaigns once your budget is spent. And yeah, there you go. Pretty simple. It's all pretty simple with PPL. But at least that's how it may seem after these three pros. Like with all things, cons exist along with pros. So with many pros come some cons too. PPL model is not perfect, although a lot of the things in regards to PPL are simple, they seem easy and lucrative. The big negative aspect is a lack of transparency you may face with some lead generation companies. They may not be honest with you in regards to how their leads are generated. They may also not vet the leads properly. Many lead generation companies buy leads from affiliates and resell them to you with a markup. And this places a middleman between you and affiliates, presenting a challenge in keeping up with the advertising methods affiliates use. You may be like, okay, I don't care about this. I just care about the leads. Well, if you're not familiar with this stuff, affiliates may use certain text on their pages that they bring traffic to in order to get them to call. That may not be relevant to your business. For example, they may say, okay, so we remove mod too, while your business doesn't do that. So, and when the caller calls on the phone, you'll be like, I don't actually do mod, and this will create some kind of a confusion, which may drive some people away. But if you may not have an issue with that. But again, you just need to be familiar with different types of things that can pop up in your PPL campaigns. PPL is also similar to PPC in terms of the fact that you don't build something that you own like you do with SEO, where you build up your brand on Google and develop lead generating assets that are yours, nobody else's. That's one of the things. You pause your PPL, and that's it. Same like with Google Ads, but with SEO, you build something that you own and it lasts for years and years and years and years. You also require the trail sales team for this. You'll need to answer the phone all the time because advertisers will send leads to you. If you work 24 hours a day, they will send leads to you 24/7. And you will need people who will be who answer these calls and also be familiar with this process so they understand, for example, some of the confusions that I mentioned earlier that may pop up and other things like that. So you need to answer the phone, and if you're busy on a job, you may not answer that, and therefore you may not be able to answer some of these leads requests and not book more jobs is all that I'm trying to say. So these are some of the cons of the pay-per-lead model. You should be aware of them. Now let's go over pay-per-lead versus marketing agency services. So PPL is just a form of marketing called performance-based marketing. This model may be appealing to you because you can avoid paying for marketing agency services that cost thousands per month with no guarantee of them yielding any results for you and your business. Now, there's no guarantees with anything. You need to know that marketing agencies work on building your brand online, while lead generation companies build lead generating assets that they own, not you, but them. So there is a risk of it with every form of marketing. The leads that you buy from a lead generation company may not convert for you, while that marketing agency that reached out to you last week may end up being the best partner you could have ever had. So there's a risk with everything, and you need to be ready for that. So which one is better or which one is not? I mean, it depends. Each of them has their own pros and again their cons too. So is pay per lead worth it? If you're hungry for leads and don't want to wait 6 to 12 months for SEO to kick in, the usual time, check out our SEO videos, start buying leads. You can also start running your own PPC with an assistance from a marketing agency. My suggestion would be attack from all fronts, do local services ads, PPC ads, SEO, and Google Business Profile Optimization, all while buying third-party leads from a lead generation company. This type of approach will allow you to start making money quickly while building your brand on Google with customer reviews that will rank at the top of the search and stay there for years to come. So if you can look at it from a monopoly perspective. There's a Google search page where everybody goes to search for restoration companies, and only the companies that are on that page will get leads, while the others on page 2 or 3 or 4 will not. So if you take the more spaces you take on that page, either through your own website and ads or to the lead generating companies' assets or both, the higher the chances you would bring in the most leads possible. So best lead generation companies for water damage are eLocal, 33-mile radius, and also us. So if you want a fully transparent partnership with highly targeted advertising and qualified leads, schedule a call or send us a message. So you'll have a link to join the Facebook group. There you can also hit me up or post. You can also go to the website, schedule a call, or simply comment on this video and we'll figure something out. So you also, if you join our Facebook group, you will get your free Google Business Profile ranking guide just by joining. It goes in depth with 25 pages of pure value on how to rank your Google Business Profile and generate even attack from a different front where you can also bring in a lot of leads. So good luck. Hopefully these tips will help you go out there and generate more restoration leads for your company. If you have any additional questions or would like a free consultation, leave a comment on this video, go to repairspower.com or join your Facebook group. Again, thank you for watching and have an awesome day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.